We've all been there. The year starts with burning motivation. We set big, bold resolutions like, this year, I'll be super productive and become the best version of myself. But after a week, then two, suddenly we find ourselves binge watching our favorite series, saying, I'll start seriously tomorrow. The problem is, tomorrow often never comes. We know exactly what we need to do, start that project, exercise, study, but somehow, we take no real action. As a result, guilt starts creeping in. We begin to feel like failures, then justify it by saying, well, I guess this is just who I am. But the issue runs deeper than just laziness. This is about a repeating cycle, having ambition, failing to start, feeling guilty, giving up, and then repeating the same resolution next year, like a song stuck on replay. And guess what? This cycle doesn't just keep us stuck, it also damages our self-confidence. So, how do we break free from this endless loop? Let's dig into the root of the problem in the next chapter. Why do we procrastinate so much? Many people say, I'm too distracted by social media, so they delete all their apps or turn on Do Not Disturb mode, thinking the problem is solved. But it's not. Procrastination is like an iceberg. Distraction is just what we see on the surface, but beneath it lies a giant force called inertia. Inertia is a simple physics concept. An object tends to stay still unless something pushes it. And guess what? Our brains work the same way. We don't start because the task feels too big and heavy. For example, if we have to write a 5,000-word paper, our brain panics, wow, that's a lot. Where do I even start? So instead, we end up watching cat videos. Inertia makes tasks feel like massive mountains, but if we start small, that mountain isn't as high as it seems. So how do we overcome this? Don't worry, the next part will give you the solution. Now that we know inertia keeps us stuck, how do we fight it? The answer is, start small. Really small. The hardest part of any task isn't doing it, it's starting. Think of morning runs. The toughest part isn't running, it's getting out of bed. Writing? Just write 50 words first. Exercising? Move your body for 5 minutes. Cleaning? Tidy up just one corner of your desk. When the target is small, the brain doesn't feel overwhelmed. And most of the time, once we start, we naturally keep going. It's like, well, I've already started, might as well continue. Small steps act as a start button that gets the machine running. The key is to start. Don't wait for motivation because motivation is unreliable. The next part will give you even more practical tricks. Ever heard of the just 2 minutes trick? It sounds simple, but it's one of the most powerful ways to beat procrastination. The rule is simple: if you're feeling lazy, just do the task for 2 minutes. Yes, just 2 minutes. Write for 2 minutes. Clean for 2 minutes. Exercise for 2 minutes. The logic? 2 minutes is so short that your brain can't resist. You'll think, come on, it's just 2 minutes. But the magic happens after those 2 minutes. Most of the time, we keep going. Why? Because once we start, momentum builds, and our brain actually wants to continue. It's like pushing a ball. It's hard at first, but once it rolls, it keeps going on its own. And if you do stop after 2 minutes, that's okay. The goal is to start, not to be perfect. Think about pushing a stalled car. At first, it's incredibly hard. But once it starts moving, pushing becomes easier. This is exactly what physics teaches us: objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Procrastination is like a stalled car. The first push is the hardest. But with small, consistent pushes, something amazing happens: momentum builds. Our brain says, well, I've already started, might as well keep going. A 5-minute workout turns into 15. Cleaning a small spot turns into tidying the whole room. The secret? Start small and let momentum take over. Don't rely on motivation alone, it's unpredictable. What matters is giving yourself that first push. So when you're feeling stuck, remember, the first push is the most important. Just start, even if it's small. Now, let's see how to apply this principle to different aspects of life. We now know that small pushes can beat inertia and create momentum. But how do we use this in real life? Don't worry, we'll give you relatable examples. For fitness, don't think about going to the gym for 2 hours. Just start with 5 minutes, maybe stretching or a plank. Once you're moving, you'll often feel motivated to continue. For work, don't panic over a huge project. Just write one paragraph or brainstorm one small idea. Once you start typing, your brain warms up and ideas start flowing. For social life, don't stress about having a long conversation with an old friend. Just send a short message like, "Hey, how are you?" and let the conversation grow naturally. The key is to start with super simple steps. Don't focus on the overwhelming final goal, just get moving. This principle applies to everything: saving money, writing a book, learning a new skill. Start small, keep going. Who would have thought tiny steps could create big changes? Remember this legendary quote from Martin Luther King Jr., "You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step." You don't need to have everything figured out. Just focus on the next small action. Want to learn a new language? Start with one phrase like "Hi." Want to live healthier? Swap just one meal for a better option. Big achievements are like building a wall: every small step is a brick that makes it stronger. Maybe today's step doesn't seem big, but trust me, small consistent actions will transform your life over time. The key is to start today. Small steps, repeated daily, create extraordinary change in the future. So, what's your first small step today? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We truly appreciate your support. Have a great day, and see you in the next video.